All right. How we looking, boys? The stream is in terrible resolution for me. I hope it's not for you guys though. It's supposed to be in 1080p here. Hopefully it looks fine for you guys. We looking empty? Yeah. Can you guys hear me? This is my first time running the stream myself. Usually Huey handles all the like the actual like stream stuff. So oh wow. Why do I have it set? Mine was set to 360p by default. I don't know why though. Okay, 1080p, that's much better. Awesome, looks great. Cool. How does it sound? Do I sound okay? This is my first time using OBS Studio. So hopefully things sound fantastic. Sounds perfect. Awesome. Looks good. Sounds good. Everything should theoretically be fairly good. I probably could have set things up a little bit better, but you know, that's how it goes. I'm actually going to adjust the Twitch chat a little bit because I can already see that I messed that up a little bit. But that's okay. I wonder if this actually changes like live on stream. Oh, it totally does too. That's funny. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright. Well, now that it is 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, we can go ahead and start the top clack, as the kids say. So I forgot to grab the intro, so I'm not going to run that, unfortunately. But yeah, anyways, welcome to Top Clack, everyone. Your weekly dose of mechanical keyboard infotainment, ideally. You've probably already noticed that I am alone. I'm all alone, forever alone today. And that's fine. Huey is doing some real life stuff right now, and he's got more important things on his plate at the moment, which is understandable. So bam, you guys get me today. I'm going to be running the stream by myself, so I apologize if you get more top clack level quality than you're used to, because this is all a little bit more new to me. But hopefully we'll pull through. I have some news to talk about, and we'll go over a little bit of Norcal stuff, and then we'll do a little Q&A at the end. I'm aiming for a little bit shorter of an episode since there is no guest and no co-host, and my news doc isn't as full as it could be, so probably going to be an hour, maybe even less, depending on how things go. Just want to make sure you guys are prepared for the ride. Thank you all for joining me, though. I definitely appreciate it. Twitch chat is looking as lively as ever. I like seeing that. Alright, so something I kind of want you guys to help me out a little bit with is maybe kind of a discussion point that we can have. Discussion points have kind of been something that Huey and I have been striving to do more of, as opposed to just news. So, we'll have like a controversial topic or discussion topic where, we can all talk about it together, including you guys, and we can kind of bounce ideas off each other and stuff. We'll be recapping a lot of the Norcal events and how my weekend happened, because I was on an adventure. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear those as well, and we can talk about the good stuff. So I'll try to be paying a little bit more attention to Twitch chat than usual, since this episode's going to be a little bit different than usual. Brian should totally co-host with himself. I might be able to do that right now. Hold on. Maybe I can... Hold on. If the stream crashes, I'm sorry, but this is going to be too hilarious not to do, I think. Can I run another instance of myself? Oh, I don't know if I can. Or if I can, it's not as simple as it should be. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That'd be really cool though. You're totally right. I should have just started the stream with 2 instances of my webcam. That would have been great. Anyways, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about Norcal first, since the meetup is now obviously over, and that whole weekend is over. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Norcal. Some of you might have been there. There were a lot of people there. Last I heard, the initial RSVP list was over 650, which is nuts. I would say at the peak of the meetup, we probably had somewhere between 350 and 400 people, tops. That was probably our max head count there, which is still freaking outrageous. Like even like the Seattle meetup had like over 220, and it was nuts. So it was a really good time. The venue was absolutely amazing. I can't believe we had that good of a venue. Like, we had so much space to work with, and everything was just so nice. It was a beautiful day out. Couldn't ask for a better day for a meetup. I was kind of a zombie all of Saturday. So just like a quick overview of how my weekend went. So I flew into NorCal. I'm from Washington, for those that aren't aware. I flew into Northern California to San Jose. I got in sometime during the evening, like 7 or 8 p.m. and went to get some snacks and some drinks with Input Club and Man of Interest and a few other people. Wound up back at the Input Club lab and had some more whiskey. That was a good time. And then everyone kind of dispersed there around midnight. I took a bottle of whiskey with me back to my hotel with Tokyo Coffee Nerd, and we kind of just had some drinks and talked, and I got a little drunk. I fell asleep at about 5 a.m. Woke up 2 hours later to head to the meetup. I was still a little drunk, not gonna lie. But it was a good time. I was dead that whole day pretty much. I took a caffeine pill, which helped a little bit. Shout out to Huey for the caffeine pill. But it was a really rough day for me, but it was also really awesome. There were so many people and so many keyboards, and I got to try a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of prototypes at the meetup. A lot of prototypes. You know, the modern M0110 was there. The Level was there. Input Club had both versions of their new Hako switches. There was the upcoming Clicky Hall Effect XMIT boards. Norbauer was there. He had the Real Force prototypes for his upcoming Real Force case. Those were spectacular, by the way. Really, really want to get my hands on some of those. Yeah, man, it was a nuts weekend. Absolutely nuts. So many people. Whiskey and chill. Oblatsky, you know me. You know me. Anyways, yeah, we had food trucks there. We had 3 food trucks, like a Korean barbecue one, a chicken and waffles one, and then kind of like a Mexican food truck as well. It was really, really awesome. And so many important people showed up too. We had Input Club, Mastrop was there, Mike of Novel Keys was there, Cherry sent multiple representatives there. We had a lot of big names in the community there, and it was really humbling. You got to see a lot of things that you wouldn't get to see otherwise. So if you guys were there, then shout outs to you. You probably had a good time, and you probably learned and experienced a lot. Anyway, yes, Megaforce was there. You're right. I wasn't able to ban him in real life, unfortunately, like I wanted to. Your friend won the minivan? I didn't even know there was a minivan given away. That's awesome, though. I sadly didn't win any of the giveaways. I don't think. I wasn't really paying that much of attention, so if I was called, then I probably did not win. He wasn't too spammy in real life? Oh no, he's actually a pretty funny guy to be around. I enjoyed myself around him. Solo episode? Yes, this is a solo episode. Huey has some real life things to do. He's working on some stuff right now that he couldn't get out of, so here I am. The show must go on. So I set up OBS Studio and learned how to do everything like right before the show. So hopefully it goes as smooth as can be. Yes, we're talking about the NorCal meetup right now. It's really good stuff. Any of you guys that were there, how did you guys feel about it? Especially if you had been to other meetups as well. How did you guys feel that this one went in comparison? I thought it was pretty cool. It's always fun to put names to faces. Like, it was my first time meeting Living Speed Bump, Andy. Super nice guy. I met Christoph of GMK. That was really cool. I talked to him for a little bit. I asked him, I tried to get him on the show, and he said he was definitely down, so we're going to have to coordinate that. So getting Christoph of GMK on the show would be a lot of fun. Since it's kind of public knowledge now, I don't have it with me. Wait, I might need to go grab this. So I'm reviewing a keyboard. I'm reviewing GMK's first, like, enthusiast level custom keyboard, which is pretty awesome. I was showing that off at the meetup. And I guess I can show it off on stream, I think. I don't see why I couldn't, because he let me bring it to the meetup. So I'm going to be back in 1 second, and you guys are going to see, if you haven't already seen, this GMK keyboard. What about the ALF? I will talk about the ALF in a little bit, actually. So, for those of you that have not seen yet, here is GMK's new keyboard, or Unikey. That's like their custom keyboard division or whatever. So it's got the little Unikey branding there. Milled aluminum housing, very sturdy. The finish on it is quite nice. It's USB-C, and it comes with these sweet GMK caps. The layout's a little funky. It's a 65%, and you have this extra column here, which is kind of weird. Not really my preference, but a lot of people are probably into that totally. Obviously, the GMK caps it comes with are nice because, like, they're in fact GMK keycaps, double shot ABS, just like you'd buy for, one of your favorite sets. This review sample sadly has MX Browns with like QMX clips on it. Doesn't really feel very good, but the keyboard itself is really cool. It's got a nice weight to it. It's heavy without being too heavy. Feels proper. Plate is also metal. Layout's a little funky. Like I think this is actually a 6U spacebar, so kind of a weird bottom row going on there. But it's a pretty sweet keyboard nonetheless, and a pretty good first installation for GMK in their custom keyboard world. Have you used New Poker 2? I have not used the New Poker 2. Earlier someone brought up the ALF X2. I actually have... So our partners over at zFrontier sent over a review sample of the ALF X2, which is a really interesting and unique 60% case housing. And it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. There's a chance I will be doing a build stream of it tonight. If I don't do it tonight, I'll probably do it tomorrow. And that'll be a pretty good time. So you guys will see that then. I got what I think is the micro arc oxidation. It's kind of like a creamy white color. It's a really cool board. I can't wait to show you guys. The ALF does look incredible. I kind of teased a couple pictures in our Top Clack Discord for those that were there yesterday. Does anyone know if you buy Unikey 100, do you get full GMK set or just the keys mounted? Probably just the keys mounted, if I had to guess. Saves them a lot of money. That thing looks awesome. I am assuming you can get it decked out straight from the GMK store. I don't know. I don't know when this is going to release yet. I have some info on it, and I'm going to be doing a review on it. So, you can look forward to that. I'll have as much of the info as I can be putting in there. I'm not 100% sure on price yet. I'm not 100% sure on timeline yet, and I'm not 100% sure on options yet. So. It's a pretty cool project though. It's been working on not only GMK but Living Speed Bump and Zombumon and a couple other prominent community members. They've been working on this all together, and it's going pretty awesome. QMK TMK support? I have no idea, man. As far as I know, it's actually going to have its own configurator, but obviously that doesn't mean it's not going to support either of those. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, definitely shout outs to Andy, Living Speed Bump, and GMK, and all those members that are working on this. This is called the Q70, by the way, the Unique Q70. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to them for letting me review this, and obviously shout out to zFrontier for sending me over the Alf X2, which I will be building on stream very, very soon, and that'll be... You guys are gonna like this, man. This case is sweet. Anyways, yeah, so back to the Norcal meetup. It was a really good time. Saw a lot of really cool stuff. Of course, I brought my Holy Pandas in my X60, and people were loving that. Everyone that tried them was like, "What the F is this? How do I get this?" So I had to explain Holy Pandas to a lot of people. That was pretty fun. Did I bring the Alpha X2 to the meetup, or did it come in just this week? I got it yesterday, so it was definitely after the meetup, after I had already flown back home. Otherwise, I would have loved to bring it to the meetup. That would have been awesome. All right, so that's kind of how the NorCal meetup went. It was a great time. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit to some news here. Hopefully, a smooth transition if I do this right. If I don't, you guys will have to bear with me. Okay, so hopefully this transition worked a little bit. Usually Huey doesn't have to do like everything himself. Usually I'll share links and talk while he's fixing stuff, but now I have to do everything myself. So just bear with me here. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the GMK Slate group buy, which is now open. I will do my best to share these links in the chat as well as on stream. So GMK Slate, pretty awesome colorway. It's kind of like a much darker version of Muted in that same kind of aesthetic. It's very simple, a lot of gray, black, just dark, well, slate-like colors. This used to be called GMK Concrete, if I recall, which was also a fine name for it, but I think I do prefer the name Slate. Alright, so MOQ, as you can see over here, hopefully this is working on stream. I'm trying to like look through the page and also make sure it looks fine on stream, so this is a little awkward for me. Anyways, MOQ at $250 for 140 bucks. Not too shabby. Looks like there's some add-on kits here. A CMYK kit, which is, you know, these used to be like the most popular things ever. Like everyone was using these accent kits, and then I feel like it kind of died out. I don't really see people using them anymore. But pretty cool. And then this is like some kind of, I don't know, RGB kit-ish. Then a little Spacebars kit. There are proxies depending on where you are, so that's cool. This is something we're seeing a bit more of these days. Instead of one source shipping out everything everywhere, we'll have multiple sources to help people save on shipping all around the world, which is awesome. So you got your European proxy, mykeyboard.eu, and then your Asia/Pacific proxy, MonoK. Yeah, MonoK. So pretty awesome. Pretty cool stuff. The base price here for 140 seems pretty reasonable for the amount of keys you get. The compatibility looks pretty good. I'm not really seeing anything glaring that's missing. I think some people probably would have liked a mod-colored spacebar of some kind, because even in the base kit and in the Spacebars kit, there are no mod-colored spacebars, and I know some people like those. So it would have been nice to see at least one or two of those, at least 6.25 and maybe also 7U. To not have those at least in the Spacebars kit is kind of a fail, in my opinion. So, but, you know, nice looking set nonetheless, that you get some accents with it. This kind of reminds me of, like, Quartz a little bit in a way, which I do like, Quartz DSA, which kind of just has, like, random accents around, and it's kind of like a neutral, darker color like this. So I definitely like it. Group buy is really, really long. This started days ago, and it still has 29 days left. So pretty darn crazy. But yeah. Check out GMK Slate if you're into that sort of thing. This is one set I really hope I can get. Having the group buy be this long is actually pretty beneficial to me, because that means I might actually be able to get this set, and I would like to get this set. But we'll see how that goes. All right, moving on to another key set, something I'm not quite as hyped about. This is the Gundam key set from Hidden Power. I'm gonna hopefully open up this little tab here, and this should work. All right, so this is an immensely colorful key set, to say the least. It's a little too intense for me, but you know, maybe there are some weebs out there that are not myself that are really into this kind of thing. This is actually my first time looking at this. I didn't really have as much time as I would have liked to go over all the news beforehand, so some of this I'm fairly new at seeing. It's like we have a standard TKL set, and that's all you can get, I think. Yeah. Wait. Why does this render have 1U mods down here, but the standard set doesn't show that it has 1U mods? I'm a little confused here. Hold on, wait. Maybe there's a better... Nope, that's not it. So I'm not really sure about this. So this is very strange. So this render shows keys that the set apparently doesn't come with. Kind of a fail. But anyways, if you're into this kind of thing, $110. $110 for this compatibility is bad. There's really no way of sugarcoating that. You should be getting more keys for $110, especially in what is this, DSA, I think. Especially in this. Yeah, this is a little hardcore. International shipping and handling, another $20. Not feeling that, guys. Not feeling that. Gun damn it. Yeah, I mean, do you guys like this set? Is this a win for you? I mean, they have a lot of cool looking novelties and stuff, but as a key set, I can't really imagine myself ever using that. They expect max drop numbers. Is it possible to show the ALF kit on stream? Yes, it is absolutely possible. I will do that after I do the news. How about that? I will tease it a little bit. I've taken some of it out of the box, and I've left some of it. I'll probably do like an actual unboxing when I do the live stream to build it, which will either be later tonight after this stream, or it'll be tomorrow evening. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, moving on from that, our partners over at zFrontier are going to be running a pretty neat looking set called DSA Peach. So this set, wait, hold on, let me make sure this is actually okay on stream. All right. So this set is a little reminiscent, at least with these yellow alphas. It's kind of reminiscent to Plum. Big surprise, Peach, Plum. But I think the colors lend itself a little bit nicer on Signature Plastics colorways, or whatever they're using here. They just tend to look a little. Those colors in particular look a little bit more vibrant, in my opinion, a little bit more rich when they're on SA or DSA, because they have a little bit of like a shinier kind of demeanor. Pretty nice looking set. I actually like it better with the white alphas. I think that's pretty nice. I definitely dig that. I like this this render. If you look at the spelling here, it's S-P-U-E-R for the super key. Spoor. That's pretty hilarious. All right, so pretty cool looking set. You have your choice of alphas. There's modifiers, and as usual for SA and DSA kits, or sets, sorry, rather, you get lots of different kit options. Lots of different. I'm still scrolling. There's still kits. So the group buy is scheduled to run on zFrontier, one of our partners. So cool stuff there. Manufactured by Key Creative. So a play on creative. I feel like I've heard this name before, but I'm not too sure who this is. Obviously, they're not as large as something like Signature Plastics or GMK or even something like Max Keys by today's standards. But maybe we have a new manufacturer on the horizon that's going to be doing awesome stuff. This is PBT Air Die Sub. Not entirely sure what Air Die Sub is in relation to actual normal Die Sub, but that could be something cool. Well, anyways, lots of renders here. This is still an interest check phase, so they don't have really a ton of info here. Just kind of a mock-up of the set and kits. So no info yet on pricing or availability, really, what time. But hopefully that'll come in the near future. This is run by Taihao, not to be confused with Taihao. That is the user running this through zFrontier. So look forward to this. Oh, these novelties are awesome. This set kind of reminds me a little bit of Hana, which is one of my favorite DSA sets. So I get that kind of like floral vibe there. I like that. That is awesome. These novelties are great. So looking forward to this. And yeah, hopefully we'll have, once that group buy starts, obviously we'll talk about it. So you guys just make sure you stay tuned to Top Clack as always, and I will be getting to that once that group buy launches. All right, last on the agenda for key sets is what this user is calling Enjoy PBT Weeb, but more formally he's calling it PBT Die Sub Hiragana Monolegends. So this set, wait, that's not it. Hold on, I know we had a render here. There we go. This is a very, very early IC. He doesn't have a professional render yet, but he's got this kind of keyboard layout editor mock-up. As you can see, Legends are mono and they are in Hiragana. So pretty cool. Also, he's got icon mods, which is pretty nice. This is theoretically going to be an Enjoy PBT, which is always good. Thick PBT, cherry profile. Can't complain with that. I don't really like parts of this set. I like Hiragana Monolegends. That's really cool. Icon mods. I can dig it. I don't really like that they have that, and then there's English on these caps. Like, I know it's kind of probably normal, but I feel like that kind of throws off the whole flow. Aside from that, color-wise, I think it looks pretty good. It's effectively just a beige set, like a standard Enjoy PBT beige set, which is cool. I'm a big fan of that. As this is an IC, there isn't really a whole lot of information. There's not really any timeline. There's not really any price or anything of that nature. So we'll have to wait and see. If you like this, he has a Google form linked there that you can go check out and support. Hopefully the price will be pretty low. I want to see Enjoy PBT sets hitting price points of like $60. I think that'd be pretty awesome. Needs extra kanji. Okay. Key set of 2017, says the biggest weeb in chat. Fantastic. All right, moving on to a little keyboard news. I know, right? Surprisingly, not key sets. Let's talk a little bit about the Planck Light. So this board is pretty interesting. Mass was in attendance at the Norcal meetup, and they did have one of these there. So I did get to poke at it a little bit. It is really cool in person. It's very light, both aesthetically and weightly. Not weightly. I'm failing hard here, guys. But it's a very light keyboard. It's very small. It's very slim, very portable. If portability is your thing, and you know a normal Planck is a little too big for you, then this is probably going to be for you. It does sport the new Kaiwa low profile switches that you can see in there. Pretty cool. They do feel pretty good. I don't think they feel amazing, but for what they are, I think they feel pretty good. It's cool to have that much lower of a profile. Then obviously you got these custom caps, which are also made by Kaiwa. Very thin, very low profile. So, you know, if space is insanely at a premium, this is a pretty cool board. I also believe it's USB-C. Hopefully I'm not wrong there and I sound like a moron, but don't worry, that's typical. There's a little bit more information in this thread, so you guys can check out the link there. And of course, we'll have all the news posted on the Top Clack website after the show, as usual, as well as in the YouTube VOD description. So, Planck Light coming soon, November 22nd at 9 a.m. EST, 6 a.m. Pacific time. Pretty awesome. It'll be on Mass Drop, so you know, if you like Mass Drop, there you go. What else we got? All right, so here's something I'm really excited about for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons I might not even be able to tell you. Hold on, wait. I gotta refresh this real quick. All right, so this is the Rama Works M6A. This is his newest iteration in mini pads, I think is what they often call them. Like the M10A and the M4A. This one is kind of a middle ground here. Just has 6 1U caps instead of anything else. This is really cool for a lot of reasons, which you can probably already guess. A, it's Rama. I mean, do you need more reasons after that? Honestly, it's Rama. But if you do need more reasons, let me tell you a little bit. So this is. Wait, let me scroll down the specifications, which I know are around here somewhere. Ah, here we go. So this is all brass. The top piece is brass. The bottom piece is brass. It's got a custom molded foot down here, which is pretty awesome. It comes with a lot of stuff. First off, the PCB that it comes with has Kale hot swap sockets on it. So there's no soldering required here. You literally just press switches in. And it comes with switches. He's sending you Kale box whites with these, which is an awesome choice. Those are great switches. And yeah, hot swappable. You just put them in, take it out, just like you do with everything else in your life, right? It also comes with a little tool that helps you assemble it. It comes with some pretty sweet DSA double shot EXO caps. I'll show the picture of those once I find them here. It also comes with a carrying case. Look at this epic carrying case. Isn't that sweet? And then it comes with a USB cable. This does use USB-C, but it terminates on the other side in A. So there you go. It also comes with a cleaning cloth, which is cool. I like the Rama cleaning cloths. He's got a little video. It's a little hard to actually see here, but he's got a little video here on this site. We're not actually going to watch it because it's 3.5 minutes long, but he goes through and he shows you how to assemble it. I like how all these recommended videos for me down here are food, because I watch a lot of food videos on YouTube. So there you go. There's that. Anyways, but yeah, he's got a little video here showing you how to assemble and disassemble it. Really fast process, because A, it comes with a little tool, and you know, B, it's got hot swappable sockets on the PCB. Really awesome product though. I really like this. He's got 2 versions. He's got the collector's edition and the special edition. The only difference, as far as I can tell, is the collector's edition is a mirror finish, and the special edition is a bead blasted finish. Either way, it should still be brass. And then you have your choice of 3 colors there: Mercury Silver, Moon Gray, or Rose. I'm assuming Rose Gold, or if that's just Rose, maybe I'm stupid. Both editions come in those color options. Then you can buy extra bottoms or carrying cases if you wanted. But really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to this. I think Top Clack is going to be getting a review sample of this or something. So that'll be pretty freaking awesome IMO. So here we go. Here's the EXO caps. So they look pretty good. Big surprise. Rama does something that looks good. Huge surprise. All right. So hopefully these will ship pretty soon. You can add them to cart now. It's a pre-order though, and there isn't really a timeline that I can see, but hopefully that won't take too long. Ram is usually pretty good about stuff. The manufacturers that he works with tend to be pretty good about stuff as well, so hopefully we'll get these hitting the market pretty darn soon, because I want to see one of these in person. What do you guys think about this? Is this a pretty sweet product, or what? Am I alone here? Rama is God? Yeah. Is this your guys' kind of product, or is this just like a useless product on the market? It's effing dank. It looks really nice. About to bust a nut. So expensive, but so damn nice. Yeah, the price is a little higher here, but there's a little bit more going on than we've had from past Rama products like the M10. He's got more options here. I think he actually had a lot of prototypes, to be totally honest, which upped the cost a little bit, because I mean Rama was obviously fronting all the cash himself for prototypes and stuff like that, and yeah, so you know he's got to try to make back a little bit of that money. It's freaking awesome though. 2018 Q1. All right, that's not too far away. Awesome. Looks neat. Not sure about functionality at that price. Yeah. I mean, when you get down to it, it's not really about functionality almost, because it's a 6-key keyboard for $150. Let that sink in. You know, when you buy a Rama product, you don't necessarily buy it because it's, you know, the most functional product in the world and nothing else competes with it functionally. You buy it because it's designed by a god and it looks incredible and probably feels incredible, and you know people are going to see it and be like, wow, I also need to bust a nut. You can quote me on that. All right, so yeah, pretty awesome product. Can't wait to see that hit the market. The next thing we got here is a neat little PCB coming from user Martin What, who apparently has a Vortex core. And the idea here is this is a replacement PCB for the Vortex core, which is kind of important because Vortex decided to F up big time and not have the 40% core programmable, which is a monumental fail. You cannot have 40% boards that are not fully programmable. It just doesn't work. It's about as big a fail as you can have. And I do not support that. And this guy clearly was not a big fan of that either. So he decided to design a PCB for the core that you can replace the stock PCB with to have it be fully programmable. Maybe not the most special thing in the world, but it's progress. It's good stuff, and hopefully this will help people that have a core for it to be fully programmable. The only problem with this product is, so the way the Vortex core is like, the people that are buying, the kind of people that are buying the Vortex core are the kind of people that don't really solder. So, you know, otherwise there's lots of other options, you know, lots of other options that you could just buy a kit and build for yourself. And that's fine. Obviously, the Vortex core hits a market that needs to be hit. It gets 40% out there to newer users that are inexperienced at soldering. So you're marketing a replacement PCB to the kind of people that are buying the Vortex core. So they will have to desolder their Vortex core and then resolder in this new PCB, which, I mean, albeit not very hard, obviously, for experienced users like myself and a lot of people in chat even. But, you know, for a brand new user, the type of people that are using a Vortex core, you know, they might not be as keen on the idea of having to do all this desoldering and resoldering. So, interesting to see how this will go. It's definitely a good idea. I think it's necessary because the core is a failure. So, I'm glad to see this, but I don't know. I kind of wish there was a little bit better of a solution. Ideally, the core would just ship stock, fully programmable, because it needs to. But yeah, there is that, if nothing else. So if you got a Vortex core and you're like, you know, F this, F that, I need programmability, here you go. Here's your option. Let's see if he actually has any info going on here. So looks like this is maybe a prototype. Just got the PCBs in the mail today. This is a custom PCB for Vortex core. It'll run QMK. So there you go. You can leave your email here. There's a little mailing list, it looks like. It says it'll probably take a month or so. So this isn't, I guess this is technically an interest check. I don't know if the group by itself has actually started yet, or if he's even using that kind of terminology. But yeah, you can definitely stay current with this. Good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Christmas trees. Alright, so there is a group buy for Christmas tree PCBs. Yeah, you heard that right. So let me find some pictures here. Really informative group buy thread, by the way. Awesome. Very well put together. Anyways, let's check out some pictures. Hopefully you guys can see this on stream. Haven't really been paying attention. Yeah, okay. So you got, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a Christmas tree PCB. It's small. It looks like a Christmas tree. It fits 6 keys. Yeah. It's not really my thing. I don't think I would use this, but I mean, hey, if you're looking for an alternative to the awesome Rama M6A, and you just need a macro pad or a mini pad with 6 keys, here's a significantly cheaper alternative, albeit a lot less attractive in my opinion. This picture's cute though. He's got like a little train here and presents behind it. That's adorable. So it looks like it comes with a PCB and kind of like a back plate, which will be PCB material instead of some kind of plate. It'll kind of function as a plate. Pretty cool stuff. Looks like it supports both ALPS and MX based on the cutouts. Always cool to see. It has a little stand. That makes sense. So you can stand it up. Kind of. I wonder how weird it would be to use a keyboard of any kind, really, in kind of a vertical orientation. Because obviously this is meant to stand up vertically on your desk. So you're pressing into them like this. I know you guys are into that motion. But it's definitely cute. Definitely cute. So he's got some options here. You can get just the PCB for $10. You can get a full kit sans caps for $20, or you can get the full kit for $30. I assume that comes with the caps. Yeah, so a full kit will include the PCB, all the keycaps, a Pro Micro, screws, all the mounting hardware you need, resistors, and Gatoran brown switches. Okay. Apparently this guy likes Gatoran brown switches. Fair enough. The GB dates are as such. It starts on the 13th, which was 3 days ago. And it ends on the 21st, which is 5 days from now. Orders are supposed to ship on the 8th through the 11th of December. Hopefully it goes as such, because this is the kind of the problem with this product is if he misses Christmas, this product becomes a joke. This is not the kind of like, it's a holiday themed product. You don't want to be shipping stuff or have people receiving stuff after that said holiday, because that is a failure. Which is kind of why, like, you know, I've talked about this on the show before too. Like, when you have holiday themed key sets, like a Valentine's Day key set or whatever, like a Halloween themed key set, don't launch them when it's not in that season. Or no, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Don't launch them during that season. Because like, if you launch a Halloween key set on or around Halloween, when do people get them? They're going to get them, like, on Easter. And, like, where's the fun in that? Like, you want to be able to use the product and take pictures of the product for its specific holiday or specific theme or specific purpose. I never really understood doing it the alternative way. But hey, that's yeah, next Halloween if SP. Yeah, you order it one Halloween and you get it the next Halloween. You know, I'd be more okay with that though, because at least you hit the specific time frame that I would like. Given possible delays, you might argue that it's a bad idea in general. Yeah, totally. You're not wrong. But hey, in a perfect world, right? In a perfect world. Anyways, if you want, this is like a cute little stocking stuffer. I bet this might be one of those things where a lot of people are gonna be picking them up for the Secret Santa. So, pretty cool stuff. It's very adorable. Alright, so moving on to some Switch news here. Zeal of Zeal PC is starting his round 8 group buy. So if you've been following Zeal for a while, this is his 8th group buy, and he sells all sorts of things from switches to PCBs to stabilizers and etc. etc. Something a little bit different this round, which is very notable, are the springs have been updated a little bit on the 67 and 78 gram variant Zealios. I actually tried out, he had samples at the Norcal meetup of the 78 gram, and I will tell you this right now. Actually, I think I have one here. Yeah, actually, literally have one right here. So they don't look any different. But this is the new 78 gram. It feels noticeably more tactile. So if you wanted a bit more intense of a Zealio, these new 67 and 78 gram ones are going to be for you. The bump is noticeably larger, and definitely a little bit rounder and longer. I don't mean that sexually for the first time in my life. So, definitely check these out. For those of you that know me, I don't really care for MX-style tactile switches, like almost always. Even normal Zealios, I'm like, yeah, they're fine. But these are a switch I'd actually use. And honestly, I think that these particular ones with the updated springs compete more with the Zondas, which is a popular mod people have been doing lately, where they take Panda housings and Zealio stems, combine those, and it makes for what is effectively a more tactile Zealio. This is going to compete with that a little bit. Tactility is definitely more noticeable on that. So how do they compare to Holy Pandas? They're not as good as Holy Pandas. But it's also a different kind of switch. You know, the Zealio, this is just, if you've used a Zealio before, you're not unfamiliar with how the tactility works. There's no exception here. The tactility itself feels the same. It's just more of it. Holy Pandas are a different beast entirely. The bump is all at the top. It's the entire press is just like a curve. It's smooth. It's a huge bubble. That's my preferred brand of tactility, kind of like Topra or SKCM Browns. I'm a much bigger fan of that than I am of the more traditional style of MX tactility. But with that said, these are good. These are good. You're going to want to try these if you're looking for a more tactile MX switch. Zealio switch has been a meme now, until now, to be honest. I mean, overrated, maybe a little bit, but I think it still hits a very proper part. So think about Zeal. Zeal's actually really, really freaking smart. So, like, everything Zeal does, it fills a demand in the market that no one else is filling. What competes with Zealios? When Zealios launched, what competed with Zealios? You had MX clears. And you had to spring swap and lube them to even have them compete with, like, a Zealio feel. Like, nothing... MX Browns do not compete with Zealios. It's a totally different level of tactility. And in that same sense, Gateron Browns also don't really compete with Zealios. If you want that specific like more intense tactility, you can't get that from a Brown switch. And at the time when Zealios launched, clears were your only option, and this was meant to be an alternative to that. Not that MX clears are particularly bad per se, but you know, it's Zealio. If you take a stock Zealio and a stock MX clear, the Zealio is going to feel better because it's going to feel smoother. The bump is going to be a little less jagged, which personally I like, and I think Zealios even look better. But you know, hey, that's up for debate, I guess. But whether you like Zealios or not, it's filling a niche in the market when it launched that nobody else was doing. And you know, you can't really fault Zeal for that. That's pretty much business 101. And he's killing it. If you look around the community, how popular are Zealios? How popular, guys? Really freaking popular. People love them. Like, you know, it hits a nice middle ground. People don't have to work. They get a smooth switch. That's pretty tactile. It looks good. Yes, it's not cheap. Duh. But I definitely wouldn't call it a meme. I think you guys are crazy. May not be the greatest switch ever, but I wouldn't call it a meme. But anyways, check out the new ones. The new ones are definitely intense. Yeah, I'm gonna see if Zeal will send me a sample of these so I can actually build a board with them and test them, because I only have the one switch right now. But it's definitely an upgraded Zealio. Anyways, yes. So also for round 8, the Zeal 60 revision 3 will now feature a gold-plated mini USB port. So you know, you guys probably already know Zeal likes his bling bling, gold, all the things. So if you're into that, and then there's an upgrade. Oh, the PCB will now feature a black edge finish, giving the whole board a cool dark purple look. Oh, that's cool. I wish you had a picture of that. That'd be nice. Anyways, yeah, check out Zeal Round 8. There's some new things amidst. Lastly, for the news today are going to be the Clack BKE Redux Domes. I had the pleasure of trying both varieties at the Norcal meetup in full boards. For those of you that aren't aware, this is a project done through Jchan of keyclack.com, as you can probably see from the website URL, in collaboration with community member Platabear, to bring a much more reasonably priced and more modern BKE experience to Topra users for a much cheaper price, which is always good. So he has these available for to order now. I don't know if he actually has these in his warehouse, in his office, but you can at least put in for an order of them now. The prices are pretty reasonable. You can get a sample pack for $10. That'll come with both of them. And then there's the light and the heavy, and they are both offered in 25, 70, and 110 quantities. So to cover pretty much everything you'd really need here. The 25 is going to cover things like, you know, your real force numpad, your 23U or whatever it's called. And then obviously 70 is for your HHKBs and your 660Cs, and your 110 covers all your TKL and larger Topra keyboards. So I did try both versions at the meetup, so I do have some thoughts on them. I think they are good. If you like really overly tactile stuff, this is for you. The tactility really is pretty darn crazy. If you thought Topra was tactile to begin with, this is going to blow your mind. It's quite a bit more tactile. Personally, I don't think it's for me. I have used multiple BKE boards in the past, and they are nice. They are very unique. It's a very different, refreshing kind of feel for typing. But it's also a little too extreme for me. It's kind of fatiguing on my fingers after a day or two. So it's not really something I would use as a daily driver per se. But, you know, that's just me. If you're really into just super outrageously tactile switches, this is what you want. The lighter ones and the heavier ones, to me, they feel about the same level of tactility. It's just kind of a weighting difference. The heavy are pretty intense. It's like, I don't even know what I can like compare it to. Like, to me, the light BKEs would probably be about equivalent in weight of like a 55-gram Topre. Because the tactility is so intense and so sharp, that's how you get the feeling of a higher weight as well. So obviously the domes are stiffer too, but like the heavies are really heavy. Don't get the heavies unless you're like, you know for a fact you're a very heavy typist. I think the light ones will be a little bit more user-friendly for most people. I think those will wind up being more popular because they won't be really fatiguing for even people that are using like mid-range switches, like, I don't know, like 67-gram Zelios. It'll be a little bit more in that wheelhouse. So, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the heavy were on a 660C and the light were on an HHKB. And they felt good. I mean, they definitely feel good if you're into that sort of thing. Which keyboard should I go for? A gaming keyboard? Adam, don't make me ban you. Anyways, yeah, so check these out. Pretty cool stuff. Lots of info there. I like this new Keyclack website. It's very refined. He's got a little tutorial guide here on how to install them. Pretty nice. Good prices though. I like this. 110 domes is $66. You can get 50 for $50. You get 70 domes. So you can outfit an HHKB or 660C for $50. That's pretty good because if you weren't aware of BKE before, which is like a slightly more dated like alternative to Topra that came in very specific like video editing boards. People are paying hundreds of dollars for those boards. Hundreds. Just to get the domes, and that's it. So now you get an alternative for much cheaper, and that is le good stuff, as the kids say. Alright, I'm going to switch away from the news here because we are done with that for now. Let me try to get back to Twitch chat a little bit here. So, like I promised before the news, I will show off the Alf X2 that I have next to me here, and then we will move on to a little Q&A, maybe a little discussion, depending on what you guys want to talk about. But, yeah, just give me a second to grab some of these parts. Alright, I'm not going to take all of this stuff out, but I will show you some stuff. So this is like the top part. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. All right, so this is like the top part of the case, the top part of the housing, and then here are some of the the brass letter inserts that are part of the weight. I mean, they kind of are effectively the weight, but those will go in, and they go in the very bottom, and then it's covered by a piece of acrylic and then screwed in, which is really interesting. So here's the top part of the housing. You can check out this color. It's kind of creamy. It's kind of... I think this could be the micro arc oxidation, but I'm not 100% sure. USB ports are bad. Yes, there are USB ports, pass-throughs on the PCB. So that doesn't bother me because, I don't know, I don't get triggered like everyone else in the community. But yeah, then there's two holes here which kind of... fit something on the PCB, but then there's also covers that go over this. So there is that. That's the top part, and then that'll obviously go on the bottom, the weights. All right, here is the bottom piece. this is where those weighted letters will go, and then comes with, there's still paper on it, but this is a piece of acrylic that'll actually go over it like that, and then that screws in to hold them in place. So you'll be able to see the weight. It'll provide weight, and you know, you'll obviously have a little bit of acrylic bling there if you're into that. So that's the bottom. Pretty neat. A lot of angles on the bottom. If you're into that sort of like tanky aesthetic, I guess, whatever. So yeah, and then my sample also came with plate and PCB, of course. Here's the plate. It looks like aluminum, but I'm pretty sure this is stainless steel. It feels heavier than it looks, so pretty sure that's a steel plate, but I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Then here's the PCB, obviously. Black, very nice. It's got the USB ports on there, and then you know, whatever these stacks of whatever are. I'm actually not sure what these are. Maybe someone can tell me what those are. Those dims is what they're called on the actual board. That's what protrudes up through those holes in the top. And there's covers to go over the top housing. Then there's a little LED indicator here that you put an LED in here, and then there's a little hole in the top housing where the LED shines. That's your caps lock indicator. So that's pretty cool too. All right, now that I've made a mess. If you guys want to see that build stream, that's either going to be a little bit later tonight or at some point tomorrow, depending on parts that I have on hand, stuff like that, and how I'm feeling after this stream. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. But look forward to that if you're into that sort of thing, because it's a pretty sweet board, in my opinion. All right, guys. Well, how heavy is it? I don't know yet. I'll wait. When I do the stream, I'll weigh it. Once it's built, I will weigh it, because that's usually just what I do. All right, 69 viewers in chat. Perfect. You guys know I like hitting that number. That's why, like, every time I look down, there's 69 people watching. It's freaking incredible. All right, so we're about an hour in. Pretty good stuff. We accomplished a lot. Let's move on to a little Q&A. Obviously, I don't have a guest or a co-host, so you guys probably don't have tons of questions. But, you know, if you do have questions, I will hopefully try to answer them as best I can. Or maybe you have things you guys want to talk about, bounce ideas off. You know, yo, I'm here. Y'all already know who it is. Foreign Big Brother. Top Clack represent. Major shout-outs to our partners. Input Club. zFrontier, Novel Keys. Love you guys. You know, Top Clack would be less possible without the awesome support of our sponsors. And make sure when you guys are using novelkeys.xyz, you're using promo code TOPCLACK, 2 words, TOPCLACK, for 5% off your total order. You know you want to. Alright, show tits. No. I will not show my tits. That's against Twitch's terms of service. Take off glasses? Okay. Can't really see without them anymore, though. I'll try my hardest. I'll try to go through some of this. Amoluyi asks, you guys have had your K-types for a while now. What do you think about them after... Okay, I need glasses, I'm sorry. What do you think about them after having them for a while? Actually, I just got a K-type in, like, before I left for Norcal, so I haven't really had time to play with it yet. So I can't answer that now. Also, thank you guys for using the Top Clack tag there to ask questions. If you haven't done that already and you want to ask a question, make sure you do @TopClack. That way I can see the questions themselves a lot easier, and I don't have to filter through all the conversation between the questions. Makes it really, really, really a lot smoother for me to go through and do that question. So thanks again to all you people that are using that. I appreciate it. What boards... Wait. Avid User 2 asks, what boards are you waiting for right now? How do you like TKLs? I am waiting for my Revo 1 case, which shipped. I'm getting that on the 21st, according to the tracking number. I'm waiting on the E6 V2. That's a group buy. That's a group buy going on right now. Or, well, it's closed, but manufacturing is going on right now. That looks like it's going pretty well. I check up on the thread every now and then. Other than that, I don't think I'm actually expecting any more boards. I haven't really been buying a whole lot lately because I haven't been able to. Not G10 asks, can we cuddle later? Yes, absolutely. I am a national championship cuddler. There's no one better. Seriously, there's no one better. I am the dawn of cuddling. Sturban IM asks, is there a difference between the JJ40 and the Planck that I should know about before buying one? I actually don't even know what a JJ40 is. So I unfortunately can't answer that for you. I'm sorry. Hopefully someone else in the chat can. Equinox, nice spelling by the way, asks, or anyone, what's the best switch to drop 150 gram plus springs into? Asking for a friend. In my experience, when you put springs that heavy into tactile switches, you effectively lose all tactility. Like you basically can't feel anymore. So I would use linears or clickies probably. Clickies if you like the sound, linears if you don't. Other than that, if you're just using an MX switch, like any MX switch, doesn't really matter. What board am I using right now? I'll show you. I'm actually using my X60 right now with Holy Pandas. Oh, it's hard to pick up with one hand. I brought this to the meetup. This has my Holy Pandas on it. Hear that nice deep pop. Pretty good stuff. I got GMK Honeywell on it now. It's a dark gray X60 Noctuary. It's got the patented unsealed weight, so it patinas. Good stuff, we all like that. Awesome stuff though. I like the board and I like the switches a lot. Morning Coffee asks, how valuable is a meetup to vendors? Should vendors start arranging meetups themselves to spread their own brands? That's a really good question. I would say it's important for vendors, definitely. I mean, obviously, like things like giveaways are kind of important. When the community sees a vendor giving away like a bunch of products and items, the general consensus is they're probably nice enough to do something like that. So you might want to buy from them in the future. It's always about networking. It's all about growing brands. I mean, thankfully, a lot of our vendors in the community are really awesome people. Just like our partners, Novel Keys and Input Club and zFrontier, they also just happen to be good people. Helps a lot. So I would say it's definitely important. Should vendors start arranging meetups themselves to spread their own brands? I would say no. I would definitely say that's less important. Any updates on box Jades coming from I Love Goth Girls 23? I don't know. I don't have a timeline. I actually have a box Jade right here. I got one at the meetup. So, pretty good stuff. If you're into the boxed navies, but they're too heavy for you, this is what you want to get. The box Jade uses the same spring as the box white, but it still has that thicker click bar, which provides a little bit louder and a little bit deeper of a click, as well as stronger tactility, which is really cool. Some people are going to tell you that it sticks. It doesn't really stick. Mine doesn't. The ones I've felt do not stick. Kale is obviously still in the testing phase. They want to make sure that they can hit a specific number of key presses in accordance with their requirements, like 50 million keystrokes or whatever, 80 million, something like that. So they want to make sure they can consistently hit that number and not have the switch stick at all. So that's kind of where we are right now. But hopefully it won't be in the too distant future. What brand of body wash do I use? I don't usually discriminate against most hygiene products. I kind of just use like whatever I grab. Sometimes I grab like an Old Spice body wash. Sometimes I grab like a Dove body wash. Sometimes I just use like some kind of soap. Sometimes when I have Nerdly's homemade soap, I use those. As long as it gets me clean and smelling good, I don't really care. Huey on the Top Clack channel is asking me, what was my favorite thing to eat last weekend? That's a good question. I actually, you know what my favorite thing to eat all weekend was? At one point we found it was Sunday, and we found ourselves back at the Input Club lab. I was about 5 glasses of whiskey deep, and one of the Input Club members brought back some cheese and like a loaf of bread. And this bread, let me tell you, this was the best bread I've ever had, hands down. Like no, not even a competition. This was just the best bread I've ever had. And I really want to get some more of that. That was the best thing I ate. The Korean barbecue was pretty good. We went to sushi Sunday night. That was also really good. Drank a bunch of sake. That was a great time. But that bread, man, I could go through a loaf of that bread a day. And I would. And thankfully, I don't remember the brand. I'll have to bring it up next time. I'll let people on the show know, because they actually ship. They actually ship at least within the U.S. So I'm gonna have to make an order from them, because you can order like at least 4 at a time, and it's like, I don't know, like $45 or something, which seems like a lot for 4 loaves of bread. But like this bread, like it was like big like round loaves, and like it was incredible. Apparently, it's Andrew, the CEO of Input Club, was telling me it comes from a place that actually has Michelin stars, which is, probably why it's really good. Reckless5040 asks, how do you like that chair? So I've had this chair for a while now, at least over a year. It's one of the Maxnomic ones, which is like a competitor to DX Racer or whatever. I like it a lot. I was really underwhelmed with it when I very first got it and set it up, and I sat in it, and I was like, this is not as comfortable as my last chair. But my last chair was getting kind of old, and it made my butt really sore after sitting for longer than like an hour and a half, because it was just like the padding wears down on it. The cool thing about this particular chair and like this kind of style of chair is like, it doesn't give you that instant comfort when you sit in it, but after a couple hours, you start to notice it a lot more. It feels a lot better. Like I could sit in this chair all day and like still feel fine. So I really appreciate that, because, as like a lot of you, I spend way too much time in my chair at my desk typing on keyboards in front of my PC. So this chair was kind of an investment. It's a little bit more than I usually spend. It was, I don't know, I think I paid like somewhere between $350 and $400 for it. But it's paid off in dividends, man. Anything that you're putting your butt in for that long, sometimes it's nice. It's just like, it's an investment, like a bed. Like, you spend how much time in your bed? It's got to be a good bed. So I like it a lot. Key Collective in chat says, thoughts on meeting the rogue upstart maker known as GAF or GAF. It was really scary. I thought he was going to mug me, honestly. Which wouldn't have surprised me, But actually, hold on, let me find it. Aha. Instead of mugging me, he did kind of the opposite, and he gave me a sweet Garbo Puss, which is one of his new sculpts. Very, very cute cap. I like it a lot. I need to figure out what board I want to put it on. I kind of want to get like a Planck or something to just like have artisans on, because I have a bunch of artisans that I'm just never going to get rid of, just because of like sentimental value and the people that gave them to me. So got this awesome baller cap at the meetup. Thanks again, kudos. I really appreciate it. This is dope. This is the shark bait colorway, if I recall. I'm really bad at colorways because I'm kind of colorblind. So yeah, I got that, and then from Binge I got I got this cap that I really like a lot. This is an Earl by Hungerworks Studio. He's like a little... I wish this would focus better. I'm sorry, guys. He's like a little gentleman, and he's got little arms, and he's giving a thumbs up. This is adorable. I love this. This is great. Those were my two big hauls from the meetup. Very happy about these. But no, yes, Gaff was an incredible man. I wanted to touch his hiney, but I behaved myself. All right, sorry guys, I'm trying to catch up on chat here because you guys are quite active in it, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. Deadline asks, thinking lubed linear Zeals or lubed silent blacks in Zeal housings, is there much difference? I mean, the lubed silent blacks in Zeal housings will be quieter. They might be slightly less wobblier. They will be more expensive. Is there much of a difference? I don't know, man. Probably not really. I mean, it's the same housing, and assuming in this scenario you're using the same spring and the same lube, so you know your only variable here is the stem. So if you want, you know, a bit softer of a cushion, because you know you do have those rubber pads on the silent sliders. So if you want a little bit quieter and a little bit cushionier of a bottom out, then the silent black sliders probably be better. I know Krillbit is a really big fan of those. I haven't really tried them a whole lot. I know Megaforce had a board with them, I think, at the meetup, and I typed on it, and it felt fine, but I didn't really put a whole lot of time into it, so can't really say. Briano1905 asks, what spring on Holy Pandas? I'm using the stock springs from the Panda switches, which is a 67 gram. Oh my god, I'm like 10 minutes behind in chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to try to speed this up. And for convenience here, I'm only going to be answering questions that have the top Clack tag. MacMerlin asks, please get a sample of those new Hako switches so you can report back if they feel better than Holy Pandas when combined with Panda housings. Okay, here's the problem. I have Hako switches. Got them. I have enough Hako clears to do a 60%, and I even have a couple Hako trues in here. Here's kind of the downside of that scenario. They're box switches. The stem is not the same as a Halo switch, which is much more traditional MX style stem. I cannot put Hako sliders into Panda housings, so that won't happen. Thankfully, at least in my brief testing, both the Hako Clear and Hako True are better than the Halo Clear and the Halo True. The Hako Clear in particular, I think, is really, really good. I think it's probably going to be the best value MX tactile switch once you're able to get these. I think you actually are able to get these now, but yeah, once these actually start shipping, this will be the best MX tactile switch to get for the price. I think the new upgraded Zealios will also be in that genre, but obviously those will be like twice as expensive. So depending on what's valuable to you, you know, there you go. But the new Hako switches are good. They're good. They're better than the Halo switches standalone. We'll have reviews of those soon, by the way. Huey has enough Hako Trues, and I have enough Hako Clears, so we'll do a fun dual build stream where we can build with those and give our thoughts before they come out. All right, I love GothGirls23 asks, hear anything from Novel Keys TM at the Norcal meetup about their Kale TM X Novel Keys TM Box Jade, all rights reserved? Yes, well, I mean, as I showed off a few moments ago, I do have a Box Jade. I didn't pry his brain for a bunch of knowledge about it, but I mean, it's a lighter Box Navy. They feel good, they sound good, just like the Box Navies do. But it'll probably be for more people because the Box Jades are, you know, because of the thicker bar, it's heavier, like pretty heavy. Avid User 2 asks, what color do you prefer on alu cases? Silver, black, gray? I find silver hard to match key sets except beige sets. If I had to pick between those three colors, I'd probably say gray. It's a nice middle ground. But I do like those three colors because they're more neutral. It's a lot easier to find key sets to put on stuff like that. Because if you have like a purple board, that's cool. It's a purple board. But, I mean, you really limit your options for key sets and stuff. So, yeah, it's a give and take. Kodo says, wait, what is Novel Keys? I have never heard of it. Well, Novel Keys is one of our awesome partners. If you head over to novelkeys.xyz, they sell all sorts of switches and other stuff for pretty good prices. The guy that runs the store, Mike, is a super duper nice guy. Really, really nice. He came to the last Seattle meetup, and he was also at the Norcal meetup. I spent some time with him. Really, really awesome person. And he's also the one doing the big switches, if you've been hearing us talk about those as well. And yeah, while you're on that site, promo code TOPCLACK, 2 words, 5% off everything. TechFresh asks, will those new Norbauers fit Real Force 87U? Yes, that's actually what they're designed for, yeah. Amalui asks, do you think the Hako switches are worth getting? Torn a lot on buying another set of switches. I don't have a board to stick them in. It depends what you like in your switches, man. Like, I think they're both good switches. I would much rather use them than a lot of other switches on the market, especially in the MX form factor. That's really all I can say, though. I think if you're into tactile switches, you should at least try the Hako clears, at the very least. Mago Jesus asks, thoughts on flying first class? I mean, it was nicer. So this for this meetup, I did fly first class, but like it wasn't that expensive an upgrade because like the planes we were on like weren't like super nice anyways. It was just like first class was just like a little bit more legroom and a little bit nicer seats and like a free dinner or whatever, and like I think like free alcohol or something. Yeah, so it was fine. It was nice for me. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4" or like 193 centimeters for those, you know, international people, and I'm like 300 pounds, or I don't know what that is in kilograms. I'm sorry, I'm not that good, but I'm definitely not light and I'm definitely not short. So having more legroom and more comfortable seats in planes is a really big deal to me. Especially on longer flights. Not that the flight was very long. It was only like 2 hours each way or so because California and Washington aren't very far apart. But yeah, it was nice. Kodo says, if Brian says hi to me, I will sub. You thought I wouldn't read that. Hi, Kodo. Coda68. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hi. Looking forward to that sub. Alright, B the Zebra asks, what is now your favorite linear, weight included, and how are you feeling about Telios now that you have broken them in? Awesome questions. So, I did use Telios stock for a while, I broke them in a little bit. I do have them lubed now, they're on my M65 still, with a brass plate. I think they are fantastic. I love them stock, I love them lubed. Are they my favorite linears? I don't know, man. Right now, it's hard to say. It's too hard to say right now. There's still a lot I'm still waiting to try, but I guess right now, if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick my favorite linear, probably Telios. Yeah, if we're not talking about like price and stuff, I think there are better value switches than Telios, but I think Telios are very good. They're just not cheap. But I do like that weight. That whole like 67 to like 72 gram is my ideal linear weight. So I do like that. OG Master Keef asks, do you think the Hako stems will fit any other box switches? That's a really good question. I haven't tried that yet. I would imagine so. I think it's the same design. That's a future top clack endeavor where we can try that. Probably on the same stream we build with the boards, we can mess around and experiment a little bit. I Love Goth Girls says, the GB for Hakos ends on the 28th of November. Alright, well there you go. Make sure you order your Hakos before then. I wish we had a top clack promo code for that, but as of right now we do not, sadly. But definitely order them anyway, because the price is still pretty good for what they are. I mean, Input Club had to front all the money to pay for like the molds and everything, so I think the price is pretty reasonable for what they are. It's like less than 50 cents a switch, I think, or you get 120 for like $54 or something. So yeah, under 50 cents a switch, pretty good. Chemisitter asks, thoughts on organic versus synthetic plant fertilizer? No comment because I am not a gardener. I Love Goth Girls 23 asks, have you tried box blacks? Yes, I actually have box blacks on a board. They are good. They are good. They are a better value than Telios. But depending on what you're looking for in a switch, they are not better than Telios. Amaloy asks, thoughts on a silent box switch? Do silent box switches exist? I don't think that exists yet. If they do, you know your boy over at Top Clack will be waiting for some samples. Avid User 2 asks, what do I plan to use for the Alpha X2 in terms of switches? Don't know yet. Could be Hakos, probably not, but it could be Hakos. Could be Kale Burgundies. That's actually my kind of front runner right now. Or it could be Box Burnt Oranges. I have those on hand too. I need to look through my drawers. I probably have switches I don't remember having. So, I'll cross that bridge when the time comes. AXM2 asks, are you building that ALF tonight? I'm about 50-50 on it right now. It kind of depends. I'd like to. It could definitely happen. If that does happen, then I'll A, post on Reddit, and B, you'll know about it in our Top Clack Discord. So there will be two places to look out for it. If I do not do it tonight, I will do it tomorrow. So one of those two. Alright, I think I'm finally about caught up here. Melodit asks, are there any switches you want to try that aren't Kale? I'm thinking. But does anyone really have any other new switches? Cherry doesn't have any. Gatter on silent switches, kind of. I wouldn't mind giving the box, or not the box, sorry. I got Kale on the brain because Kale is like, they're what are doing things lately. Like, no one else is really doing a whole lot. But Gateron does have new silent switches. They have reds, blacks, and browns all in silent variants, if I recall. So I'd like to check out all of those. But I also hear they're not that great, so I'm not really in a rush. But if the time arises where I can try them for very little or no money, I will probably try them just to have. Cherry's not really doing a whole lot in terms of switches. Otemu has been doing some stuff. Their stuff has been okay. But it hasn't really been groundbreaking. I don't know, man. I feel like I've tried like all the switches. So right now I'm still trying to work through Kale, all these Kale switches. Avid User 2 asks, have you checked out the Tina IRL? I saw a couple at the meetup. I didn't actually touch them or pick them up, so I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on them. I think they look fine. They look like a good value. That's about as far as I've gotten. Donut Cables asks, thoughts on Cherry's dev kits? Then he says it again with quotes, dev kits. So I don't know if I'm just stupid or maybe I missed the point of the development kits that Cherry was touting at the meetup, but to me it looked like a box of switches. Like literally just a box of switches. It was beautiful. It was arranged all nicely, and all the switches were like laying down like in a grid. It looked cool, but to me it looked like just a box of switches. So I'm not really sure if they're trying to just get fancy and call it a dev kit, or like maybe I was missing something and I wasn't paying enough attention during the presentation. So not really sure. My thoughts on it would be, if it is just switches, then I don't really see the point in calling it a dev kit, because Cherry switches are already on the market and you can buy them from lots of different sources. Omega Supreme asks, where is Vector? Where is he right now exactly? Probably in Japan somewhere. Why is he not on the show? Because he had to focus on real life stuff. He's trying to get his PhD, and he's going to be a doctor soon, so he had to focus on real life for a little while. There's a chance he'll return to Top Clack at some point in the next couple months. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Regardless, Huey and I will check on either way, and we'll make the best of it. It'll be a good time. Texas Breakfast asks, favorite Kale linear and which is their best tactile? For Kale, favorite Kale linear, even though I haven't used them yet, I really think the burgundies are what's going to do it for me. Other than that, I guess I would say the box blacks. But I'm saving that judgment until I use the burgundies, because I really feel like the burgundies are going to be the winner for me. And what is their best tactile? Hakko's. Hakko box switches. They're made by Kale. It's depending how you look at it, it's technically a Kale switch. Hakko clears, I think, are their best tactiles. If you're looking for things that are currently immediately available on the market, I guess the Kale Pro purples are pretty good. It's like a cheap alternative to Zelios. Not quite as luxurious as a bump, in my opinion, but they're still smooth and they feel fine. But no, Hakko clears and Hakko trues. That's what they are. TechFresh asks, prefer Fjell or Canoe? Fjell. The Canoe is really cool, though. That was one of the boards at the meetup I actually did pick up and mess around with a little bit. I liked it. Very nice finish on that. But the Fjell, man. My boy Leandrin gets me every time. Donut Cables asks, or he states, it's basically their first step into doing something for the aftermarket community, and it seems like there's potential. Yeah, when you look at it that way, it's pretty good. So when I first learned that there were Cherry representatives coming to the Norcal meetup, I was like, but why? Because in the past, as a whole, as an enthusiast community, Cherry doesn't care about us. They don't care about us. You know why? Because we're like 0.5% of their market. Or less. Like we're basically nothing to them. And it sucks, but like that's kind of just business. So I think coming to this meetup and looking around at all the people and all the boards that are not using Cherry MX branded switches, because a lot of them were not, most of them were not. I think them seeing that kind of stuff maybe open their eyes just a little bit to, what they might be able to accomplish in the enthusiast community if they actually applied themselves. Because Cherry probably could do a lot of things for us. They just haven't ever thought about it, really. So I'm really hoping that that they had a little maybe change of heart, or just kind of open their eyes in general to the enthusiast community, and maybe we'll get some form of something out of them for us. And even though the quote-unquote development kits aren't really a big deal, because theoretically they're just switches, to be able to get them directly from Cherry in that capacity is a step in the right direction. You are right. Avid User 2 says, it would be really cool if you can have someone from zFrontier as a guest and talk about the keyboard in China. Yeah, definitely. I will talk to zFrontier and see if I can make that happen. No Chance RPG asks, have you tried the Big Switch? Yes. Mike of Novel Keys was in attendance at the Norcal meetup. He brought several of them with him. And yeah, it's cool. It's a nice product. I mean, it's very novelty, but it's also really cool. Hako Taco is a mix of what switches? That's nice. Nice. I Love Goth Girls 23 asks, would you say that the added stability from the box switches are noticeable? It depends on what you're comparing it to. I don't think it's like drastically more stable because of the box, but they also just happen to be stable. Like, actually, I think the most stable switch on the market right now are like the new Otemu switches. They have like no wobble. So those are probably just as stable or more stable than like anything Kale has. But like Kale's more normal line of switches and like their pro lines of switches that you can find at novelkeys.xyz, they don't really feel any more or less wobblier than the box switches. So I don't think the box is really adding a ton of stability, but I think they're still very stable switches. Briano 1905 asks, Fiel Pro versus the Tokyo 60. Those are like different classes of board, and technically neither have released yet, so that's kind of tough. I mean, I actually, for those I didn't know, I shared a hotel room with Tokyo Coffee Nerd. Him and I roomed for the weekend, and he is the one that is doing the design for the Tokyo 60, and he had 3 prototypes with him, so I got very hands on with the Tokyo 60 at the meetup, and it was nice. It was good. I think I wish the price were a little bit lower. I think right now he's aiming for about 250, which feels a little bit higher than I'd like. I was really, really, really hoping for it to hit more of like a $200 price point for what it is. It's a 2-piece case. It's got a top piece with an integrated plate, and then a bottom piece, which is literally just a flat piece of material. Like, I feel like that shouldn't cost as much as $200, but you know, he's talking to vendors, distributors to try to get the best price. So good on him. He's doing good stuff. It is a beautiful board. I love the Tokyo 60. I can't wait to get one. He's sending me a prototype here pretty soon, even. So very, very excited for that. But it's kind of a different class of board. The Fiel Pro is a bit more of like, you know, it's a bit more of like a rugged custom. Like, it's a very high end kind of thing. Whereas the Tokyo 60 is kind of like a bridge between like an entry level board and a high end custom. So they fit different markets. It's kind of hard to compare them. They both look amazing for what they are, though. TechFresh asks a pretty good question. Biggest surprise of the meetup? I'm honestly not really sure. I'm trying to think of... I don't think anything really surprised me at the meetup. I wish I had a good answer for that question, because it's a good question. But I don't really have an answer for that. There weren't really a whole lot of surprises for me at the meetup. It was pretty much exactly how I expected it to be. I guess just like meeting specific people, like meeting Christoph of GMK and like, you know, the Cherry people and like all the big name guys that I've never met before in person. That's always a surprise. Amaloy asks, what exactly was the change with the Kale Pros versus the regulars? Spring and color. I don't know if the stems are a different design at all. I can't comment on that, unfortunately. But like all the Kale Pros that I've used versus the Kale Commons, I think is what they're called. Kale Regulars, Kale Commons. The Pros tend to be a little bit smoother, and the Springs tend to be a little bit more interesting. But, you know, that's just me. I think the Kale Common switches are also just fine. And plus, they're, like, a little bit cheaper even. They're, like, 25 cents a switch as opposed to 28. I don't know. Like, you can't really... All the new Kale switches are pretty good. You can pretty much, like, throw a dart at a board, like, at a list of them, and, like, you'll be fine with whatever the dart lands on. I do like the Pro Burgundies, though. I think those are going to be a good switch for me. Avid User 2 asks, do you plan to get any of the Fiels round 2, regular Fiel or Fiel Pro? If so, what color? Depending on when the group buy is, that's going to determine whether I can or cannot get one. If I do get one, it'll probably be the Fiel Pro, since I already have a Fiel Round 1. I would feel kind of redundant to get a regular Fiel, when I already have one. So if I did get one, I'd probably get the Pro. What color? Probably gray, because the gray that he uses for those is like absolutely perfect, and I regret getting silver like every day of my life. I should have gotten the gray initially. Avid User 2 asked, did you see the modern M0110 at the meetup? Yes, I got hands-on with that. I sat there and typed on it for like 5 minutes. I talked to user Heroy Jenkins, one of the designers that is bringing that idea to life. It's very cool. It was actually one of my favorite boards of the meetup. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was heavy. It was elegant. He had a nice set of caps on it for the gray. It was a prototype. There were like some minor issues. You could see some milling lines around the edges. That was one of the first things I noticed because they were pretty obvious. But overall, the board was awesome. Can't wait for that to happen. I hope they hit the kind of price point they want, because to me that looked like a $350+ board, which, man, I don't know. I feel like we need cheaper boards on the market. Be the Zebra asks, what board were you most lusting for at the meetup? Probably the M0110. That was a great one. I mean, I saw some canoes there. Those were pretty nice too. I don't know. I'm kind of at a point in the community in my keyboard career where I feel like I'm starting to not care as much about a lot of things. Like, I want to try new things, but I'm caring less about them, I'm noticing, which sounds awful. It probably is, but I'm hoping I get that same drive I used to have back. Avid User 2 also asked, did you find any great Switch mods that you plan to build for yourself in future builds of the meetup? Again, I didn't really mess around with that many boards, honestly. I probably looked at and typed on 10 boards or less. I know it sucks, but I was like a zombie that whole day. That entire day was just a blur for me. And I wish I could have walked around and typed on more things, and I could have. I chose not to because I was stupid. I always regret that after the fact too, after the meetup. So I did not really find any great Switch mods, unfortunately. There might have been some there, but I did not find them. Floss MTG asks, was it hella heavy? I assume you mean the M0110. Yes, it was heavier than a Fiel, which is like 5.4 pounds fully built with brass options. It felt heavier than that to me. So yes, it was very, very weighty. Here's an interesting question from TechFresh. Is there an up-and-coming industrial country where we can source boards? The new China, in quotes. I don't know. I don't think so. But that's interesting. China just tends to do things with more value. So I don't know if people are really looking for alternatives even. Anyways, this Q&A has been going on really long, which is normally totally fine, but I think I'm gonna call it an episode here, guys. And if I am gonna do my build stream tonight, I'm gonna prepare for that, and maybe go buy a 6-pack or something. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm gonna spam a few links in the chat just so you can absorb all the stuff that I want to spam, because that's how it goes. So here you go. Here's our Discord. This is our official Top Clack Discord. You can talk with us there. You can hang out with us. Awesome community. We have people talking there all the time. I'm looking over right now. There's like 8 people in voice chat at this moment, just for the hell of it, which is awesome. Love seeing that. A lot of good community interaction there. Make sure you join us on our Discord. Also, make sure you subscribe to our Top Clack YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that a little bit because we just launched our new YouTube channel a little while back. So make sure you subscribe to that if you're not already. VODs get posted there. We'll have special content posted there. We got We got new series we're working on. I'm working on one. Huey's working on one. You know, we got typing videos, all other sorts of content that aren't directly just this live stream will be posted there. But I mean, obviously, you'll find the live streams there as well. If you're looking for ways to help us out because you don't entirely hate us, which would be awesome. Sometimes I entirely hate myself or Huey, but you know, that's how it goes. You can buy t-shirts. T-shirts are available now, and if you've ordered one already, it's probably shipping if it hasn't shipped already, because Input Club has actually gotten back to their distribution center and they're shipping out shirts. So thank you very much for your patience. If you did order one and you were waiting a while, definitely apologize for that. But if you did order one, it's probably on its way to you now, and you're gonna look extra good. But if you've not ordered one already, definitely do that. It's a good way to support us, help us out a lot. And of course, you know, if you haven't been to our website, like you've been living under a rock, there's our website, topclack.com. You can find pretty much all of our content as a solidified, like, concrete hub. It's a good place to start. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Once again, major shout outs to our sponsors, zFrontier, Novel Keys, and Input Club. Like, seriously, all those guys are awesome. In fact, side note, you know, I hung out with, like, Input Club most of the weekend for Norcal, and they are just freaking awesome. Like, every single one of their members that were there were just really stand-up guys. I didn't even pay for, like a meal, like, my entire weekend. Like, I was just, like, they were just, like, feeding me and, like, you know, pouring delicious, nice whiskey down my throat. Really, really stand-up guys. It was an absolute pleasure being there with all those guys. So, you know, major shout outs to all them. Input Club really made me feel at home there, and it was awesome. So make sure you support all these guys, yo. Know what I'm saying? All right. What is the Top Clack Novel Keys coupon code? It's Top Clack. I will put it in the chat. It's literally just Top Clack, 2 words. Should get you 5% off everything. So make sure you guys are abusing that code, but don't share it. Keep it in the Top Clack community. That's what it's there for. Don't go sharing it all over. This is for you guys. It's for you guys. So make sure you guys in the community are abusing that code. Seriously. Order lots of switches and stuff, and send him special notes and hearts and X's and O's, because he's a cute guy, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, thanks again to our sponsors and all you guys for watching. I know this was my first solo episode. Sorry if it was a little razzled, because you know, I'm a little razzled. I wasn't really completely prepared for this, but you know, it turned out okay. We had a much longer show than I expected. So thanks again for watching. Catch us next week, same time, same place. Huey will probably be there, hopefully. And stay updated if you want to see me stream my build for the Alpha X2. That's either going to be a little bit later tonight or tomorrow night, one of those two. But either way, it'll be posted on Reddit. You know, you'll be able to find it all over our Discord. So I'm looking over, I'm seeing people join the Discord already. Awesome, nice, good stuff. So yeah, and don't worry, when I'm building the Alpha, I already got approval from zFrontier. I can drink on stream and I can build it, and like, it's going to be casual. It's going to be a good time. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, till next time. Arigatou gozaimasu.